Hey, it's finally spring and we're still celebrating Women's History Month. But did you know black and brown people across the world are reconnecting to their roots and redefining their relationships to the land? By gardening and farming, and Black Gardener Talk is dedicated to sharing those voices to inspire all people of color and maybe even some that don't look like us to grow by any means necessary. But sometimes we just need our own safe space to talk. Good morning, this is Kamani Anku, and this is Black Gardener Talk. And my guest today is my girl Jasmine from Healing Hipster Farms. Let's talk black, y'all. For Jasmine to come in. Oh no. Hey, hey, what's going
Hey,
on?
how are
I'm
you?
doing good. What's up with you? How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Just been out in the field working. How you
I'm
doing?
doing real good. It is so nice to have you on, and I'm excited. Always
Yes.
excited. But let's jump right into it. What was your first memories of gardening? Let's start there.
Yes. So my first memories of gardening would be my grandmother.
Okay.
She didn't have a big garden, but she had peach trees. And I just remember growing up, my grandmother would go out, pick a peach from the tree, and then turn it into a peach cobbler. And I was sold.
I
I
love
was
me a good peach
sold.
cobbler.
I love me some peach cobbler. Okay, I was sold. So since then, I've been introduced to agriculture in that way through food.
Okay, cool. So it's 2025. From then, when your grandmama was doing those peach cobblers, what made you decide to do healing his hipster farms?
Yeah, so it was mostly from I started out as a chemistry major. I planned
Okay.
on doing pharmacy school. I did for a little bit, and then I was like, it's the food. And I instantly was like, from here on out, let me just learn about gardening. That was about 12 years ago. I just took an interest into it, and then I took over me, like I said, about 10, 11 years ago. And from then on, I was like, I got to grow food and I got to help heal the community and I got to teach people about it as well because, like most of us, we don't know how to use this stuff that we grow fresh produce. I was only really used to eating like carrots, peas, and corn mix growing up. That was it. Like we didn't buy fresh produce like that. So
Mm-mm.
that was just something I just wanted to take a dive in because I saw the health benefits in it and I just wanted to share it with everybody from then on.
Oh, that's what's up. Tell me how you came up with the name Healing Hipster. People was inboxing me talking about what's this Healing Hipster about? Where you where that name come from?
So basically, I started out doing just meal prep first. That's what I was doing first. I always cook food for people, and then I got
Okay.
tired of cooking, and I'm like, I was growing a lot of stuff already, but then people was like, Jasmine, we want to buy your produce too, and then so I got into herbs first. So I discovered elderberry. I bought an elderberry tree. I was using rosemary, and the fact, like, remember I told you I went to school for chemistry,
Yes.
so at first, I didn't think about the chemist world in the sense of a naturalist. So once I hopped into it, like the nerd in me just full fledged went into herbalism. And I learned about a lot of things like mullein, how you use it for your lungs. And I learned about elderberry for cough and flu. And I learned about calendula, how it could be used as for like, I just a lot of different things I learned. And as I was learning this stuff, I was making it and just showing people, but people wanted to buy it. They didn't want to just And so that's where the healing hipster. I do have a little bit of hippie in me because, of course, I love being outside all day. Like I'm gonna have nails,
Okay.
but they're gonna be dirty. Like I'm a hippie. But the
Okay.
healing part comes from the medicinal part of it. I love rosemary and herbs and all the medicinal benefits of plants.
Cool. Yeah, I was just on the website looking at some stuff. I'm gonna have to go to that shopping cart, put me some items in there. But you just talked about these nails. Do you wear gloves when you out there in the garden?
Yeah. Yes, because I'm still. I try to be pretty. I ain't all the way pretty, but yeah, I wear gloves.
Now, are they big gloves so your nails can fit in there, or you
Yes,
got
it
the
is.
things
So
cut out?
no, I wear big ones. I wear the little plastic ones, and then I wear another set on top.
Okay.
Because
Good.
I like to cook too. So a lot of people don't agree with that, like with the gloves, but I wear gloves because I still go home and cook. So
Okay. So your
I
farm
love.
is away from your home.
No, it's my
Uh,
homestead. So
it's
yep,
your homestead.
it's an acre and a half home. Yep, and I just
Okay.
got blessed to where I have a whole entire clear land of acre in front of my home,
Okay.
and I just turned it into a farm.
Cool. That's what's up. I like that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your first mistake. So, your grandma taught you how to grow these peaches and make these peach pies, and then you got your own garden about 10 years ago. You use your math and science, but that don't always work. What was
It
some of your
don't.
first mistakes?
Some of my first mistakes I would be say is looking at too many people on social media. That was thinking that, and I would say my first mistakes in the beginning were just not trying. I had did so much research on stuff, and I just never took the time to actually just go to the store and buy the stuff that I needed to start. So, like, I was intimidated to grow watermelons, and I I just started growing watermelons 2 years ago. When it's like I could have been doing it this whole time, but just thinking that you can't do it and it's going to be too hard. When literally I was eating watermelon 2 years ago around my farm, and I spit the seeds out, and literally the watermelon plant just came, grew, and made it to the full maturity, and it was perfect. So it was like, man, this whole time I'm growing all this other stuff. I could have been growing watermelon this whole time. So I would say that would be one of my mistakes, is just not trying. A second thing was not trusting my natural sense. Being that I am a chemist, a lot of people would use a lot of chemicals. They go to Home Depot, they buy all these amendments, and I'm not knocking them at all, but I would say that was in the beginning of my journey. Once I realized that nature literally is the best way to go with gardening and farming, that was my biggest mistakes. I went out, bought a whole bunch of stuff just to kind of find out now all I use is just fermented plants. All I use is the plants I grow to literally make more fertilizer and worms. So just
Okay.
basically over complicating things when it's so easy.
It's so easy because you is that man for science chemist. So yeah, you
Yeah.
figured it out on that part. So that leads me to your first success. What was your first success? And you was like, damn, I can really do this.
So about I think it was 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I worked for a daycare center,
Okay.
and she literally she had a multiple daycare centers, and I was running the gardens
Okay.
for the daycare centers, and literally once like when I started, it was overwhelming the amount. And hold on one second.
Okay. So yeah, we're talking with Jasmine from Healing Hipster Farm, and yeah, it's exciting. It's springtime. Everybody should be out there planting
You
some
appeal,
stuff.
you appeal.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was looking at the space, quantity of the size, like this is overwhelming because she had about 5 different sites. It totaled up to about like 2 acres total. And I just never thought that I could manage that many spaces. I was just used to my little small farm space of 1 acre. But what I did was I end up breaking it down. You can't overcomplicate things. You got to break it down into smaller zones. So I broke it down into smaller zones. I finished, and by her first harvest season, they were just amazed. They were in love with me. They was like, "Oh my God, we've never had this many luscious collards and cabbages and kale." Like, and I realized, like, okay, if I do this for myself, I can do it for other people as well too. Like this can be my. And that's when I left Emory because I was working at the hospital
Okay.
while doing my farm, and then I was like, I don't have to do this no more. I literally can just farm full time.
Okay. So is that what you're currently doing now, farming full time? And
Full
how is
time.
that? How is
It's
that? How
mm.
do you make ends meet every month, so
So
to
I'm
speak?
gonna be real with you. At first, I was just healing hipster, just doing it for myself, and I had to get around other farmers to learn that most farmers were poor. We don't have money, so we literally have to get a full time job. So I am blessed that my job, I found the job where I manage 2.5 acres. That's where I'm at now.
Okay.
So during the day, from like 8 to 3, 4, I'm at my job, which is happens to be a farm, which I love it because I love being outside all day. And then when I get home, I manage my farm from like 4 to 8.
Okay, that's what's up. We need to know because people like you said you said full time, and then folks was like, okay,
Yeah, people
how's
don't
she
even
doing it?
think. So basically,
Yeah.
it's a website called Good Food Jobs. That's
Okay.
where you'll find any agriculture jobs. I kept looking on Indeed,
Hmm.
thinking that I could find an agriculture job. No, Good Food Jobs. Sometimes there are some farm jobs on Indeed, but mostly Good Food Jobs. That's all agriculture. Um, um, Anybody in hospitality, food, all of that food and growing food business.
Okay. So your work life and your farm life kind of like or personal life kind of merged
Oh,
together,
it
which
merged
is
together.
is
Let
pretty
me tell
good.
you, it's gonna merge together. Once you get livestock and chickens, your life is nothing but farm life.
Okay.
Because I have chickens as well too, so I have to check on them every day, and yeah, you got to check on the plants every day. So it becomes one.
Okay. And any other animals besides the chickens? You got any goats, any sheeps,
No, just
planning
I
to?
No, I was just at my friend's house yesterday, and she had pigs, she had goats. So I'm gonna be real with you. Even though I am a farmer, I eat meat. So if I'm
Okay.
gonna raise a goat or a pig, I'm gonna eat it in 6 months. So that's my goal. Once we get more land, we want about like 5 acres total, 10 acres. I will
Okay.
do it for that purpose only though, because my friend, I was impressed. She was like, "Oh, they have pigs just for friends. I mean, companions." I'm like, I'm trying to eat it. If
Okay.
I'm doing all that work, I'm eating it.
Eating it. Yeah, I don't eat pork, but so I would eat the pigs, but
Yeah, but the chickens and stuff
yeah.
like that, that's what I'm doing it for.
Okay. Cool. So you didn't name your chickens. Please tell me you didn't
Uh,
name them.
I didn't name them because I know that. Well, my friend did. She said Popeyes, talking about some
Okay.
KFC.
Okay. Because when you name them and then you got to eat it, that's a hard pill to swallow
Yes,
right there.
that is hard pill to swallow.
That's amazing. What advice would you give someone who wants to walk in Jasmine's steps? What advice would you give them?
I would say research, 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 and volunteer, volunteer, volunteer. Remember, I told you that biggest mistake is just not trying. So just because you've never done something before in your life growing up, like I grew up in the SWATs of Atlanta, Cascade. Like we
Okay.
didn't know about nothing. Like I told you, the most I ate was peas and carrots growing up. So once I discovered that lifestyle and I started doing my research on it, I just learned then like this is something that I want to occupy my time instead of really going out and doing other stuff. It just was boring to me, and studying about plants and volunteering on farms became things that I wanted to do. So I would just say reach out to people. Like I let people volunteer on my space all the time. People do see I have classes that you can pay for, but simply my job. My job is a volunteer farm. They allow people to come here and volunteer every single day that I'm here. So I would just utilize options like that. Research some.
Okay. And did you go through any official farming classes or you just how did
And
you really
so I did Master Gardeners,
okay.
but that wasn't really nothing. I
Talk to me
like the book
about it
stuff.
because I took the master gardening class and I think for me it was more so to meet people that look like me and that lived in
And
my area.
yeah,
And when I still went to that class, it wasn't a lot of people that look like us. And but I did get to meet a lot of different people that
people,
lived in
older
my
people,
area.
yeah, exactly. So I did that. That was more of the book stuff, like I
Hmm.
would just say nothing's better than just going to take it, even if it's Home Depot or Lowe's, going to Lowe's, getting you a pot, getting you some dirt and putting a seed in it, just for you to just see how that plant grows in itself. Even if it doesn't work for you, like you still just need to actually do it. I would say that would be the best way
Okay,
with the Master Gardener. Then.
let's talk
Mhm.
about your website because you got a lot of things going on there. You got garden classes on there. You got your shop. Let's talk about the garden classes since we are talking about folks learning how to garden. Tell me what your garden classes look like and how can someone be a part of your garden class?
Okay, so my garden classes, because I do work, so I have them available on the weekend. I do Saturdays and Sundays. Saturdays anytime after 2, and then Sundays I do pretty much all day in the mornings. You come out to my homestead. I give you a tour of everything, my herbs. I give you a tour of my worm farm, my chickens, my 1 acre vegetable growing space. I show you how to start seeds. It depends on your level once you get there,
Okay.
and I get a feel. If you're a beginner, I'll start you off with do seeds, transplanting, just basically teaching you what can grow in this season. Because sometimes people come, they don't even know that you can grow all year round.
Okay. Okay.
especially in Georgia. And then after that, if you're the next level, I can actually show you like how I make my own pesticides, how I make my own fertilizers, how I'm pretty much able to maintain my space for little to no money. So that's the gardening class in itself.
Okay.
You're always able to leave with the plant. It's $25. It is kid friendly, so I have a lot of people. Sometimes they bring like multiple kids, and we do it like a. If it's a kid, I'll do like a fun experiment for them as well because I love kids.
Okay.
So
Cool. What are you currently planting now?
a lot. So it's beets, lettuce, garlics, onion, any leafy greens, arugula, kale, spinach, collards, broccoli, cabbage, all of those right now are in the ground and growing, and they're going to be ready to harvest, around May.
Okay, and so when you do your harvest of those, are you going to a farmer's market? You have a CSA. How do people get your stuff that you've grown? Since it is like a business now, you're not doing it so much.
Oh,
You're still doing it for your
yeah. So I
family.
got my LLC,
Okay.
I got my insurance. I'm legit farm in Atlanta. Even though
Okay.
it's a micro farm, it's still I consider a farm to them. So I basically do the vegan social. That's on Wednesday. That's the
Okay.
event that I promote I go there like twice out the month on Wednesdays. I sell my produce there. I was doing Alpharetta Market. I will still be at Alpharetta Market, but it won't be me. My cousin is going to actually stand in my place, but she's going to have. I'm gonna harvest everything for her the day before, and she's going to take it up there. So Alpharetta Farmers Market, and also, like I said, just the vegan social. And then
Mhm.
also, like we was talking about with my website. When you go to my website and you go into shop, it says garden bundle. Right now it says sold out, but from April all the way to November, every week I update it. I update the picture and I sell $25 to $35 bundles. And that's where you
Okay.
get a little bit of everything on my farm. And most people just order that. Like they'll text me if they're local in Atlanta or shoot me a DM, or they can order on my website. They'll say, hey, they order by Thursday and I deliver them all on Sunday. Or they can
Okay.
pick up.
Are you doing personal deliveries or you got big time now and got some traffic?
Uh-uh. When I say I'm local, the people haven't discovered how great I am yet. So
Okay.
I'm still local. They got to get me while they can though. I'm happy though. I'm able to have that connection where people can text me,
Yeah.
as a local farmer.
Because
Yes,
you getting that connection, and if you get good products, they gonna tell the next person, and the
and
next person
that's
gonna tell the next
literally
person.
what just happened. A
Yeah,
lady, she ordering a bundle for me because I wasn't supposed to be starting until April, but you know how them grandmas do. She done hit me up. So I did her, and then all of a sudden, I told her, I said, I'm not starting till April. She done told two of her other elder friends, and I'm not gonna turn them down. They want they call us, and I'm gonna give it to them. So yeah, so it's word of mouth. It really works for me. I try to sell between 10 to that's where my grants too. They understand I'm trying to do between 10 to 25 bundles a week.
that's what's up.
Yeah.
Mm, that's what's up. I like that. I like that it's more personal. Personal, and even if you was to get say $1 million right now and it's dropped in
Yeah, no, I
your
want to
lap,
keep it how it
yeah,
is.
keep it
I
how
want
it
to just be
is.
one healing hipster. That's it.
Yes, that's cool. Where you get your seeds from? We talking about all these bundles of garden bundles. Where you buy your seeds? Where you get your seeds from? Break
I
it down to
know.
us.
So I'm gonna be real with y'all. So I'm in an organization called Collectively Sustainable, and that's my hashtag. You'll see me post about it. That is Lawrence Seals Family Farm, SEAL Seals Family Farm. So they have basically link ups about 3 times out the year, and every 4 months we link up, and I always post about it. It'll be a seed swap, and we're able to seed, and that's how I really got a lot of my heirloom seeds. That whole entire organization is about community. Basically, it's all farmers. We're all homesteaders. We've been doing this for about like 3 years now, just linking up and trading seeds. And then of course I have heirloom seeds. Like when I first started, when my grandmother had the okra, I learned about saving seeds early, and I literally would save those seeds. So most of my seeds are heirloom. If I have to buy some seeds, it's been botanical interest, but someone been telling me about them, so I ain't really been messing with no ones that you purchase. But I do know that True Leaf Market, they have a lot of heirloom seeds. I just bought like yarrow from them and dandelion seeds from them, but mostly heirloom. Like when people come, if you come to my space and you help me volunteer, the first I'm gonna make sure you don't leave empty-handed. So that's where the volunteering and meeting other farmers come in. At I got a bunch of okra, sunflower seeds and tomato seeds. All right, then my other friend, they're gonna have a bunch of cucumber and watermelon seeds, and I'm gonna swap with them. That's what we do at the end of each season. We just have a seed
Oh,
swap.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah,
And
but True Leaf Market and Baker Seeds. Baker Seeds is an excellent organization that has real standby. They're not like a big company. Baker Seed Heirloom and they're heirloom seeds. But
okay,
other than that, like I say, I just go to seed swaps. Your libraries be having seed swaps. I go there. I love seeds. So
okay.
anytime if you tell me it's a party with seeds, I'm gone.
You going? Do you think you will ever create your own line of seeds?
I actually got invited to. I'm thinking about doing it this year. I don't know if I should send them back their seeds. So they basically sent me a bunch of African genetic seeds. These are like blackity black seeds, like black eyed pea seeds that are
Hmm.
like generic from Africa. It's like kidney bean seeds. They sent me like I would say 20 of all like 10 different exotic seeds from Africa. They basically want me to go ahead and plant the seeds and do a seed saving at the end to literally start a seed bank at the Washington, D.C. They have an exhibit for African Americans there.
Okay,
They want to start that seed bank up there. So, I will get reimbursed if anyone purchases. I'll have royalties to the seed. So that's as close as I've ever gotten. I do think with my sunflowers and my okra genetics, I could start a lineup because I do sell them. I do have my plant sale license as well, so
okay.
I'm able to sell seeds and I'm able to sell plants. So I
That is
definitely
amazing. Congratulations on
thank
this.
you.
The work with the in DC. That's going to be amazing. I'm a you
Yeah, so
know
I am thinking about that. Basically, be my own line of the genetics that I'm extending for them. So
yeah. So I'm definitely gonna check that out when you come to DC because I'm right outside of DC.
that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Now
Yes.
let's talk more. So we got these herbs, we got the vegetables. How are you combining them to make some healing products like the skincare? Let's talk about the skincare that you're doing and all that good stuff. Using
Yes.
all that stuff because that's definitely the chemist coming out
The
of you.
chemist.
You got
Okay, I
man.
can't hide her because she in there. Okay, but I had to learn how to do it with plants instead of doing
Okay.
chemicals. So like I told you when I started out in the chemistry industry, I didn't know nothing about natural stuff. They didn't teach us none of this in school, and I'm just like, what? That's what made me look at them a little side eye, like, why y'all ain't teaching us this in school? Because I could grow it and it's easy. That's why. So I love using plants like for my skin. I have a lot of products that use like calendula. That's in my like shea butter, and that's also in my rose hip oil. Roses Roses, even though they're a heavy hitter in the what is it, the love
Mhm.
world, in the beauty world, roses are so medicinal for your skin. So I use the rose hips. That's actually like the hip of the rose, where it's like the rose bud, and it's at that very tip. It's called a rose hip.
Okay.
That's actually something that we dry out, and it's very beneficial for your skin. It actually has vitamin C in it. It's good for blemishes, everything like that. It keeps you really, really shining in the
Okay.
summertime and in the wintertime too when your skin is
So
dry. I also use
real
I was
quick
gonna say I
with
also use a
the
lot of sunflowers
okay
too.
with the rose hip thing, are you drying them out and then grinding it up, or are you chopping it up? How
Yeah.
are you doing that?
So I'm gonna be real with you. So in the beginning, I was doing that method where you grind it up and you basically place it in the jar with the whatever oil you're gonna use, and you let it sit. You let it sunbathe for about 30 days, and that makes a beautiful, luscious oil. My products I got a little bit more product people ordering. So the chemist and me, I did purchase a machine though. You can purchase a machine that helps me blend it, and it has the exact temperature of 325 degrees and
Oh wow.
6 hours long. Yeah, so you just buy the tools that you need to go ahead and help do it. But for my personal, I do not large batches of stuff. I do still do the glass method where you just infuse it and let it sunbathe for 30 days. But if not, you can always buy a machine as well too that allows you to merge all these different
Hmm.
oils and it extracts the properties out of it as well.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Talk about this dandelion drop because I'm on the site and I was gonna order some and it's sold out.
So
What's up with that?
let me tell you. So with me being a small business, I close in the wintertime. That's why I was like, I only have bundles from April to November. I had to learn how to take a
Okay.
break because I work two farm jobs.
Yeah.
So basically, now the tinctures, I do not shortcut those. Those actually sit in the jar and sunbathe for 30 well, it's actually 3 months. It's not like an oil that you put on your skin. It actually takes 3 months for those holy basil and dandelions to actually transfer into the alcohol or the glycerin base. So
Mhm.
that's why I have those all available by next month.
Okay.
I
Talk
started
about
in January and they'll be done by the first week of
talk
April.
about the rose and the witch hazel. What's that good for?
Yeah, so Witch hazel is amazing. My grandma put me on
Okay.
that. Like growing up, the best toner. Okay, witch hazel. She get the one from Dollar Tree, but it's amazing toner. I actually buy from Mountain Rose of a really great quality witch hazels that's actually extracted from plants. Because you know witch hazel is a plant. A lot of people don't know that, but you can grow witch hazel. And so they basically extract it. Doing the process, what I'm doing for 3 months, they let it extract and it turns it into a solvent. And I basically add the roses and I let that's something I let merge for 6 weeks. I actually don't use the machine for that because I don't want any no heat on that. And I let it just merge and it's just so beneficial. It has your skin glowing and it's just a cleanser for your skin soon, especially like for somebody who's taking makeup off or like me. After I'm done washing my face, at the end of the day, I still like to take that cotton pad with the witch hazel and go through and just make sure I'm super clean.
Okay, I'm a male. I got a little goatee. What you got for me? What you got for the males? You
So that
know.
hair growth oil, that would be
Okay. Cool.
something that I do have in stock now. It would be amazing. It's so luscious. It's super light, and it's actually a masculine smell. I use rosemary, fenugreek, and mint, so it's really earthy smelling. And I literally, you would just put that on there as soon as you get out the bathtub, the shower. You'll just put that on there about every 3, 4 days, and then literally, it'll just have your beard looking so luscious and full, and also for your hair as
Okay.
well.
Cool. How has gardening changed you since you first started?
I would say patience. It slowed me down. It helped me stop over promising. You know, when I became a first year farmer, I was trying to tell all my family, "Oh, I'm gonna have all this," and then literally I end up buying the wrong soil, and all my plants died. So, you know, you learn. That's why you learn in the Bible. You ain't supposed to be telling nobody before your harvest come anyway. So that's why it has really taught me a lot of patience. And with nature controlling everything, I'm not able to control that. So I love that. It helps my. I used to have anxiety working at Emory and depression a little bit, and it just cleared all of that. I don't have to worry about that stuff because I'm literally outside with nature. I can't control if some bugs, you know, something I can do what I can to put a little bit of the mint, but this really helps me learn how to let go and let God.
Okay.
Because
Cool.
God gonna do it now.
Oh yeah.
Nature gonna do it.
Yeah,
You
God's
can't
going to
control it
do
at
it.
all.
Yeah, He's going to do it. Folks, if you online and you watching this, something did happen to the app right now where we still recording, so I can't really see if it's comments coming up. But we appreciate you watching and putting your comments in there. But I cannot see them right now. I just want to do like make sure I'm not egging you. We are not egging you. We just I just can't see anything right now. But thank you for watching. Go back and listen to this and write some notes down later on. Let's talk about where do you spend the most time in the garden at? Some people, a lot of folks love this question. Some say they sit at the lake. Some sit by the carrots and eat the carrots. Where do you like to spend most of your time in the garden? Just to chill out, maybe.
To chill out, it recently has become the chickens. I love watching them. I didn't think I would be one of those people. My husband called me yesterday, like, "What are you doing?" I'm just literally, I just sit and watch them. I have different stages. I have older ones,
Okay.
and then I have younger ones, and they have two different coops, and I'm just watching them, exploring, seeing their personalities. Just, I know that they don't talk or nothing, but I literally just sit and watch them, and it's so peaceful. And then outside of that, I will say is the greenhouse. I love baby seedlings. I guess that's where the chicken things come from too. It's a more nurturing thing. I love to nurture and help people and
Okay.
be of aid to something. So it's like the chickens need me. You know they need me to eat, drink, water, to help them, guide them, all that. So it's like with that, and then also the greenhouse with the baby seedlings. I love taking care of baby plants. Like it's a lot of work. A lot of people cannot do that. Um, it's a lot of work. I'm gonna be tell you in the beginning, I bought my ceilings. That's why, because it's a lot of work. But I think that's the nurturing me. I have 3 kids too, so I love
Okay.
nurturing. So I think that's my favorite spot. Which for some
And with
people,
that,
those would be the stressful spots.
I mean, of course, chickens pooping everywhere and making a lot of
So I
noise, and
be
you got
outside the coop looking at them. My coop is nice. I'm able to see through the
okay.
thing. Yes. So I at least can stand outside the
That's
coop.
good that you in tune with them because they do need you, and I
Yes.
bet you get a better product with eggs and everything by just because you are nurturing
Spending
them
time with
and
them, like
spending
they
time
come
with
to me,
them.
like one of them escapes. They're literally just spending their whole life looking for me. So I really do enjoy them.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. What is the hardest plant you ever try to grow? Let's talk about that.
Let's see. It would be corn. Um, and I'm not gonna say it's my fault because I learned from the country boys corn is a heavy feeder.
Okay.
I'm really gonna try again this year, and I'm gonna try to do it naturally, organically. They saying you can, y'all, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's really when I try, it's looking like ain't no corn really organic. You know how they do like all corn fake GMO? It gotta be because it's really hard to do it naturally.
I
So I'm
think
gonna
it's
be trying.
I think it's a lot of GMOs too, but I did teach my neighbors how to grow, and
Yeah.
they from Jamaica, and man, they corn be looking so
That's
good.
what I need to know the tricks. Now, one person did tell me, okay, you can use like apple cider vinegar at the end because not even along with the fertilization, corn develops that bacteria in it if you don't stop it. So a lot of people be spraying big pesticides, but it's like I learned that you can spray like apple cider vinegar on it to prevent it.
Okay.
So it's like a lot of tips that I'm pretty sure I need to learn from somebody to really get it
Okay.
going. But
Yeah, it seemed like they just put theirs in the ground. I mean, I haven't had that bad of luck. I usually always started late. You know what I'm saying? So then
mm,
I'm getting that corn in.
See,
It's
that's me too. I be done
not
thought
as
I
big.
planted the seeds, they didn't sprout. Like it's just I gotta catch that when to do it. Now my grandfather in law, my husband's grandfather, he literally they own a farm in Alabama. He got it to a T. Like I went there, I don't like the stuff he used, but as planting wise, I was gonna take his tips and just use it.
Yeah, that's what's up. We
Cause it's
gotta
like you
learn.
got 1 week when it's supposed to do it. That's like the best week to do it. And
That's crazy, but I mean, hey, we gotta listen to it.
yeah.
So yeah, I would say yeah, corn is crazy. I bought some black corn before, and it was
Wow.
like it just only grew this big. I was like, did
Yeah.
I just get gypped off these seeds? I was mad at the seed company, and I'm not gonna mention the seed company, but yeah, I was mad at them.
Yeah, it's hard. It definitely it's a heavy feeder. You got to feed it. Even if it's naturally or what it is, you gotta feed it.
What do you have a favorite trick or tip that you picked up along the way? You've been gardening now, farming for about 10 years. Is there any favorite tricks or tips that you promote on your Instagram, your social media, that other people are looking at? Like you said, you was looking at too many people. Do you have something that
That I
is a
know for sure
winner?
will help them.
Yeah.
I will say uh, utilizing worms has been one of the best things I've ever done. Um, Even if it come time for you walk inside of like a feed store or the Walmart and buy the worms for like the cups,
Okay.
even if you take the worms out and throw them in your bed, taking that cup of those worm castings and pouring it in a big 5 gallon bucket from Home Depot, filling that up with water and just letting that sit over time and dispersing that back into your garden is will change your life. It will stop you from having to buy like 10 amendments that you currently buy at Home Depot.
Mhm.
Second, I would say watering, checking the weather and doing the watering thing. In the beginning with the babies, my seedlings, everything kept dying, but you have to water, especially the first 7 days. Anything that you plant, you must water every day. So I would just say those two are two tips that have took me a long way. My plants stopped dying on me when I started watering more. We don't just take that simple time of just slowing down just to water. You got to water, especially in Atlanta, because they're gonna dry us out like they did last year. We was a drought in
Okay.
Atlanta, so I would say that those two things right there, utilizing worms and watering, really taking the time to water your baby plants when they're first born, 7 to 10 days every day.
Oh wow. Talk about your the worms. You got a whole worm farm set up. And how many worms do you currently have? Is it like
Ooh,
3,000 worms,
it's
a
probably
hundred
like
worms?
10,000. It's really more. So I bought originally like 4,000, well, 6,000, but they don't multiply by now. It's been going on a year, so I
Okay.
have 20 times 10 is 200 gallons totes of worms, and
Oh
they have
wow.
holes on the side of it. I have a reel that explains how to make your own worm bed. But yeah, I drill holes on the side, and I feed them when I juice and my leftover scraps and my eggshells. I feed them to the worms, and they multiply. And every like 3 months, I sift through it. I start over. I create a new bin and I take all of that worm castings and I turn it into teas that I'll use for the whole year.
Okay. And how do you get the worm casting? Are you taking the worms out and then it's full of poo
So
poo?
so
What is it
basically,
gonna look
that's a
like?
good question. So what I do is I actually like take leftover soil. So if I have a grow that got pots, you want to know what to do with this all old soil, how to revamp it. That's what I be taking those in pots and I basically throw them. Or like we have places that give us free compost or like cheap soil.
Okay.
I'll get some cheap soil and that's what turning that cheap soil into something rich gold. Because at Home Depot, worm castings is like $10 for one bag.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I fill up those totes with poor soil, or I'll go in the forest and get some soil. Go get old pots from somebody, the old soil that's just been sitting in the pot for 10 years. I basically dump that into the tote, and that's what I'm adding the worms to. And over 3 to 6 months, they break it down. They eat all the bad things in the soil, and they turn it into good
Okay.
soil.
So you don't never really see the poop part.
No, you do, but really, you just got to know in your head that in 3 months, when I go back in this tote, basically all of this has turned from soil to worm poop.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Like I said, they charging $10 for one
Yeah.
bag of it, little bitty.
I work for one of the big box stores. I know the prices, and
Yes,
they even higher now with everything that's going on with this administration and this economy right now. I've seen the bags out there, and I was like, oh, maybe I need to create me a worm farm.
I'm
I
telling
do
you, and that's
throw.
something you can have in your apartment, like a tote. It don't stink, it don't smell. It's good compost, and it's a way to get rid of your scraps. You putting your food scraps in there, giving back to the environment.
Yeah, I mean, I do have composting bin, and when I do see worms, I take the worms. Like after it rain or something, I'll throw them in the compost bin. But I
Yes,
don't have like a
definitely.
massive number of worms. It's just what I might find in the
Yeah, I
backyard.
went crazy. I love worms.
Yeah, I mean, I think I should do that because I'm not buying $20 bag of worm casings. I just
I'm
not. That's just not.
telling you, one tote, one tote in 3 months can literally, it's amazing.
That's what's up. Let's go back to you personally. You married, you got kids. Do they participate on the farm? Do they help you out? Talk about that a
Yes.
little
Well,
bit.
my husband does. He
Okay.
automatically, like, from the get go. I didn't, when we got together, I didn't know that his grandparents had a farm and that he was, so it was really love at first sight.
Okay.
So once we found all of that, because it's like, I'm already into this, you got a background of doing it, like, oh, we about to do this. So he automatically jumped in and helped me. So Healing Hips says, not just me, it's my husband too. He helps
Okay.
me so much. He's a fisherman. So he helps me a lot to have fish heads and all his fish scraps. That's where I started the worm thing because I'm like, oh, he fish a lot, so I might as well just have a worm farm. We ain't got to pay for bait no more, and it's just a full life cycle. He helps me, and my kids help me. At first, my kids weren't helping me, and then this lady
Mhm.
was like, "Girl, why you ain't got your kids helping you?" Because I'm like, "How am I doing all this by myself?" Like, and she was like, "Your kids supposed to be helping you. That's why." So
Okay.
every day after school, my kids love helping me. They have different tasks from watering to helping give the chickens water, stuff like that. So it's become a lifestyle for them
Oh,
too. And it
that's
is
what's up.
different because we live in a city. We in Atlanta.
Okay.
So like a lot of people not really used to that. Like when my toddler probably be saying in class he got chickens, they probably like, you ain't got no chicken, but he really do got chickens. So
So
I like
how
it.
is that? Like, describe the way your home is set up.
So luckily, my
Mm.
neighbors, everybody has a lot of land. Now, did nobody
Okay.
else on my street do what I did with the
Okay.
land? They just cut their grass. I ain't got time for that. Cutting
Okay.
grass every 2 weeks. So yes, I do. I live in an urban community in Atlanta. It's near Camp Creek Parkway. A lot of people know about that. We do at least all of our houses have at least though 2 acres of land, thankfully.
Okay.
But it's still the city.
Still the city.
It's different. I'm like a unicorn. A lot of people always think my job is amazing. They always want to learn more about it because I'm just like me. I didn't grow up learning about this. We didn't
Hmm.
have this in school. We didn't have gardening classes at Mays High School in the hood. So, it's different. Back then, it was strange to everybody, but now I'm kind of popular. I like it.
Okay.
A lot of people are coming along. More people are getting classes. I've been begging people to do classes. Now it's finally getting hot. Like I'm like, okay,
Okay.
I can dig it. So being in the city and doing something different, it's opening up people's eyes. Like I can have a house in the city and actually still do this because apparently my grandmother told me everybody did this back in old
Oh
Atlanta.
yeah, definitely
It just
back in the
changed over
day.
time. Like my grandmother and them had chickens, and that's what made me get the chickens. My grandmother was like, "Oh, we had 200 chickens in our backyard in the hood, Cascade Road, Beecher." Like that's what we all did. My
Mhm.
grandma and them had the chickens. Somebody else had the collars. It was all a collective thing, and so I basically I felt like I had to take that leap and do it just to show people like we all need to get back to this.
Yeah, I think that's the same way with my great grandmother. She gardened in the middle of the city. I mean, and she was a pig rancher, and so this was in North Carolina, and she had like hundreds of pigs. It seemed like right there in the city, and you'd be like, "Whoa, we going to great
Yeah.
grandma's house," and when we get there, you will never know from the front, but when
They
you go in
had
that
anything
back.
going on.
Yeah, you go in that back. It was like a whole pig setup. I mean, then you cut them up. They were all back there, and then it was like four or five houses right in the row beside her, and yeah, and so they were doing the same thing as well. I mean, it was 30 acres actually now, and we still own that property in North Carolina. It's a historical property. So
Oh
yeah,
wow.
we all got to get back to it, and nowadays it's even more important to get back to it. My next question I want to say is, what are some common challenges faced by farmers today, like yourself? What are some challenges that you are experiencing?
I would say funding. Funding is the biggest thing that we're facing. That's why I was looking at the tariff list, that thing everybody was like panicking over.
Hmm.
And I'm like, just last year, I was trying to beg people to buy my organic tomatoes, squash. Hold up now. Y'all complaining about getting it from Mexico when I'm right here in my city and I'm begging y'all to support me. And, that's the thing. It's like we need more. As a farmer, I would say we got the farming down pack, but we need more outreach as far as marketing. Like we need to join up with more people who can get our stuff out there. Because I can grow the stuff for the masses. It's just been hard for me to actually get it out there and get it to the people.
Okay.
We can just do this.
Yeah, I feel like that marketing piece is always the missing link. I always
Yeah.
tell people.
It's like that's the missing piece component for a
Because
lot
we
of
so I think most farmers and gardeners they so focused on the growing part, which is good too. But we got to get into that. One, I would like the chemist part of it. We got to learn that chemist part, that chemistry part, as well as that marketing. How we can make better use of that, not just on the internet, but creating flyers, creating
yeah.
digital media, maybe even T-shirts to get the word out. Because then I think that goes back into funding. When Healing Hipster is in Maryland and they got that product from that good marketing thing, I think that's when the funding comes in. We don't have to so much beg for the funding, but I think yeah, that's the
Yeah.
missing piece.
Cause cause I had a couple programs lined up, but Trump done messed it up. So
Okay.
we ain't gonna talk about it though, but he
Yeah.
messed up a lot of my stuff, man. So yeah, that's what I would just say. Funding and support from the community. That would be the biggest because like you said, we definitely like with marketing, IT, anything with promotion. I'm like, I gotta get better with that stuff. But I'm learning how to branch out. Like this is my first time doing something like this. Like I'm like, I gotta get out there. Because there's no reason why I should be holding all this stuff in. You got to explore and do something different. So I would say
How
that
do you
is the biggest obstacle for a lot of farmers.
How do you think we reach more of our people that look like us to buy from a healing hipster or a deep roots farm or even myself? How do we get our people to buy into it?
That's what I so my avenue is through food. A lot of people tell me, "Oh, I don't eat squash or zucchini," but then when I actually whip it up for them and I put my black space, because I learned from my grandma how to cook. We
Yeah.
cook. Well, we know how to cook. Once I add that little southern twist to it, it's like now they actually interested in buying fresh produce. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people never even heard of broccoli leaves. They taste way better than collards. They're less acidic. They have more
Mhm.
fiber. So it's more about educating them, I think, through the ways to their stomach. Because, we love food now.
Oh yeah. I
They'll
think
go buy food.
that's yeah, I think that's key. I work for a job that gives out free food and we have. And so I just recently whipped up some turnips a couple weeks ago, and the people went crazy over the turnips. You talk
Yeah.
about broccoli
I
leaves,
guess using our magic, our little black people
yeah,
magic to cook.
using our black people magic. I also think cauliflower leaves are really good, and have more fiber than the collard greens and taste better too.
Yes.
So that's something good. Talk about, to me, you're a chemist, you're also a farmer now. Are you using any technology to enhance your farm? Are you using any AI to to do your farming and your products?
I'm gonna actually be real with you. This is my first year. Yes. This is actually my first month using it. So I'm amending my beds right now. I'm basically I'm gonna take y'all to the area because
Okay.
I'm like, whoa, this is really this changing the game, baby. Hey, y'all changing the game. So basically, I measured out my beds. I measured out exactly how long they are. When I
Hmm.
did that, I went to ChatGPT and I said, "Hey, ChatGPT, I have 5 garden beds that are 60 feet by 3 feet long. How many tomato plants can I plant in the bed?" It said, "Jasmine, you can plant 85 or 65 tomatoes spaced out at a 2 feet apart, like literally." That's what I did, and I was able to create my plan, my layout plan for the year using ChatGPT. I never did that before. I used to be one of them old people that was scared of ChatGPT, but I'm like, no, I need to utilize it for,
Okay. So that's
for
good that you're
spacing and
using it.
landscape design. Yeah.
And I think, I mean, we gotta not be afraid of it. I was afraid of it because I came from a journalistic background. That's what I studied in school. So I was like, ooh, they about to take my job. But
Mm-mm.
it's amazing the things that you can put in there and see what they spit out. I mean, I would still
Yeah.
say use it in moderation.
Oh,
Don't let
definitely.
that take over your life for the
I'm
folks,
telling you,
but
because you got to
definitely.
be able to do it without it.
Yes, because the systems could crash. We're talking a lot about food, and I love food. You sound like you love food too. If I came down to Healing Hipster Farm right now and it was dinner time, what would you be fixing me out the garden?
So right now it would be cabbages. I would do a cabbage and broccoli leaf and kale mix.
Okay,
I'll still be able to pull down my peppers because I got them all freezed up. I had a plethora of peppers, so I'm still using my peppers. I will also be pulling out some onion to cook with it. My poblano peppers, onions, and it'll
okay,
be a cabbage, broccoli leaf, and kale mix.
okay.
And then I'm gonna be
And
real with you. I'm gonna add a little turkey neck in it.
oh yeah, I don't want a little turkey neck. I don't eat pork. I don't eat pork, but
Yeah,
I
I
eat
definitely
everything
add
else.
a turkey neck up in it.
I love me some turkey neck greens and mix, but that would be interesting. I would love to chase the collards, the broccoli leaves, and all of that together because I usually tend not to mix my greens, but
Yeah.
and cabbage. But I would love to try it. I have not tried a mixture of that. Maybe turnip greens and collard greens, but
Yeah.
I haven't done those things. Um, let's talk about the strategies for your pest management. I know you said you make your own pesticides. What is your
Yes.
strategies to get rid of those bugs?
So you got to treat gardening like anything else, even with how treat my chickens. Cleanliness is close to godliness. So the only pesticide that I like is a mild. I make my own Castile soap. So you know how people buy Dr. Bronner's?
Hmm.
I make one from scratch, but you can just buy Dr. Bronner's. Dr. Bronner's is legit safe. Castile soap, but you do Castile soap mixed with water, and I put a little bit of mint or neem essential oil in it. Just a few drops of the essential oil because it's gonna spread through the whole bottle. And I use that in the backsplash sprayer. Now the trick is your plants basically need to be washed. After
Hmm.
a while in the summertime, like you can't do it in the middle of the heat, but at nighttime in the evening, I just go through with my spray thing and I just spray and I'm basically gently washing the leaves because you gotta think it's a little bit of Castile soap in there. That's soap. So you're basically
Hmm.
just washing your plants. And it basically prevents so much disease and so much pests. Like if you be on it with that and just do that once a week, 1 to 2 times a week, you literally won't have any issues. It's called preventative. A lot of people want to do
Okay.
the Castile and all that once the pests come.
Once the
That'll
pests
prevent
come,
them from
if
even
you
come. Yeah, you gotta keep the plants clean, basically.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
you basically
you're
like
doing it
washing your
by week.
squash leaves, you washing the vine, and I have a high pressure sprayer that really helps.
Okay,
And then,
that's
people
a
use high sprayers for real pesticide, but you can just put your natural stuff in it. That's what I do.
okay. That sounds good. I mean, I feel like we should be cleaning our plants um all the time, every couple
I'm,
weeks, so you
I'm
can't get
telling
those
you,
bugs. And I
it
had to
really
learn that
will help.
the hard way too. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was having those collard greens and killed in the summertime, and one day they looked good, and then the next day them bugs was on it, tore it up.
toe it up. That's why you got to clean it. Like that's why I just be like everything is just about cleanliness. That's what I learned with chickens. The only thing maintain chickens, you gotta be clean. You gotta just clean every day. So literally cleanliness close to godliness. It helps so much.
Okay. Any what are you working on now? I know you doing some stuff in the on the farm. What are you currently doing now? People want to know because we see you going in and out. What are you currently doing right now?
So right now I'm shoveling some dirt.
Okay. Mm,
Working, I'm amending, getting ready because springtime is here and these beds
okay.
need to be ready. So I'm just adding a top layer of compost. Um, at my farm, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just basically amending. I'm getting the beds ready. You stir them up a little bit, either with a tiller or with your hand tools. You
Okay.
stir up the soil a little bit, just a little bit, and then I'm adding a top layer of compost, and that's it. Just refreshing in the beds, getting it ready to plant in the new season.
Okay. And what is your favorite tool to use in the farm? Do you
Mm.
have one?
Yes, it's actually a hoe. A hoe is my favorite one. I use it very good, very quickly. Like I don't even have to use a tiller. I can hand hoe through an area and have it clean and nice. Real good.
Okay. That's cool. And then it's almost up to an hour now. I done ran out all my questions because you
Yay!
answered them so efficiently and quickly and good. But my last question, well, two questions. Where can we find you? What's the website? What's the Instagram handles? Let's go there
Thank
first.
you. Yes, and I really appreciate you for doing this. So it will be healinghipster.com. Like I say, when April hit, you'll be able to see the tinctures on there. You're able to order your garden bundles, do a consultation, garden classes. Also, I'm very, very local. If you are in Atlanta or in like close to Atlanta, neighboring city, you can just shoot me a DM. I'm on my Instagram pretty frequently. It comes up like a text message. So yeah,
Oh shit. She left the room. Oh my goodness. Jasmine has been phenomenal. I mean, this is great. Make sure you go back and listen, take some notes. Again, we had some technical difficulties with the live, but I want to leave your life healthy, free from negativity, and as always, black people, we gotta stay dope. All right, peace. Got to find out how to cut this thing off.